Innovation, AT4, AT4X, Denali. Case closed. For your GMC, we're professional grade.
Good morning, everybody. We are back for another episode of Double Dribble with Coach Sammy Lucio on a Monday morning, February 16th, Brownsville, Texas. We are in the Student Center today. It is an asynchronous day here on campus, so we moved our show over into the Student Center. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
This is a playoff edition. That's right. The playoffs are here for the Bloodhounds, and they are ready to go, and they know their opponent. They know the time and the date. The Bloodhounds will hit the road tomorrow to take on Fort Bend Christian in the TAPS 5A D2 area round. It'll be at Corpus Christi Incarnate Word at 7 o'clock. So the anticipation, we're excited. It's the postseason. I'm sure you had a pep in your step this morning coming to school.
Oh, yeah. It was good. I mean, we weren't here last year, so that was one of our goals this year was to make the playoffs. So congratulations to our boys for accomplishing that one goal.
Absolutely. So the final standings in the district, Laredo St. Augustine wound up finishing 6-3. We were right there in second at 6-4. St. Mary's Hall 6-5. Victoria St. Joe 5-5. San Antonio St. Anthony's 5-6. San Antonio Christian 2-8.
They were a three-way tie at 5-5.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk about that 5-5 three-way tie with Victoria St. Anthony's and St. Mary's, just the parity that we saw unfold, stress-free.
Yeah, it was good to be watching the games and not be stressing about them.
So the scenario there was Victoria. We lost to Victoria last week, so they essentially got like a bye in the round robin.
Yeah.
And St. Anthony's and St. Mary's Hall had to play a game, and then the winner there would play Victoria, and then the winner from that game wound up getting the final spot in the postseason, and it wound up being St. Mary's Hall.
Yeah.
Correct. So I thought that was really neat on the way on the rules on how TAPS worked that out.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, they got to play it out instead of doing like coin flips and stuff like that. But anytime you have a tie to get into the playoffs, you're gonna play it. If they were all in the playoffs, then it probably would have been a coin flip or whatever the tiebreaker situation.
And what was the scenario with St. Mary's? They had to play like Monday because of a makeup.
They played Monday for a makeup, the regular game on Tuesday. Then they played Wednesday against St. Anthony's.
Yeah.
They played Thursday against Victoria. And then they had Friday off, and they played Saturday, the playoff game. They ended up losing the Lutheran South.
Okay. Yeah. What a crazy week for those guys.
Yeah.
And like we said, hey, that looks really fun, but I'm sure it's not as fun when you have to be in it.
Yeah.
Considering the travel and then just having to manage your kids and their legs. And I think at that point, you can only ask so much for the kids.
It's tough. To play 5 games in 1 week is tough.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was fun to watch from afar while the kids had a bye week this past week, and they got to work on some things. But overall, the Bloodhounds again finished 6-4. This team had the opportunity to play for a district championship on Tuesday. Fell a little bit short, but just the fact that these kids were able to say that they played for a district championship on the last game of the year, I think that's what any coach would want and can ask for.
Yeah, if you would have told us and the boys at the beginning of the year, you're going to have a chance to win a district championship the last game of the season, we would all take it.
For sure.
And going into the last quarter down 6, we'd all love to be in that situation. It just didn't work out for us, but I told the boys that maybe just God has some bigger plans for us coming up this week. And it is what it is, and we move on, and we just try to get ready for tomorrow's game.
So overall, the district I don't think it panned out the way we did, but I thought it was far more competitive.
Yeah.
Way more competitive than I would have thought.
Yeah, usually when in these districts, there's always just one really dominant team, and then everybody else kind of, maybe there's one or two that just way better than everybody. But this year, everybody beat everybody. It was very, St. Anthony's won 5 home games and lost 5 home games. We were in the same boat. We happened to beat Sachs the first road game this year. How big was that game for us? We talked about it back in December. How we didn't know it was going to be that big of a game, but it ended up being one of the reasons we weren't in that 3-way tie.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's why we say every game really matters when you get into district play.
And it's funny because we did say that even before that, when we started this show back around before Thanksgiving, my
Yeah.
goodness, that we were circled that December 2nd date, and that we knew it was either going to be really good because we were going to go into the entire month of December with a 1-0 mark and build on that, or stew on an 0-1 mark, and
Yeah.
then remember that second game was at Laredo.
Yeah.
And we wound up dropping that game. So 1-1, 0-2,
Yeah.
what it could have been,
Yeah.
what it might have been, we could be talking a very different story. So 100% on why every game is important.
Yeah.
And Laredo, I mean, they lost 3 games this year.
Yeah.
It's a little uncharacteristic of them,
Yeah.
To drop 3 games, but it just speaks to the parity of the district. And we got them back here, and I think St. Mary's Hall beat them
Yeah.
once, and then St. Anthony's
Beat 'em.
upset them at their house, and that was at that point in time we were rooting for St. Anthony's to kind of help us
Yeah.
out in the standings. So
They had, I mean,
Yeah.
they lost. They beat Victoria by 1 point on a shot that Victoria made that they didn't count at the buzzer.
That's
I
right.
mean, it was very close. I
Mhm.
mean, and then they were up. They were down 10 to Saks with 2 minutes and came back and beat Saks. So I mean, we could have easily been the district champ too if those other games go.
Yeah.
But I mean, it
Yeah.
all changes everything.
yeah,
so
it
it's
changed. Yeah.
It was a great competition this year in district.
Yeah, even St. Mary's, they beat Victoria at the buzzer in that
Yeah, in that play.
play-in
Yeah.
actual play-in game.
Yeah.
So I mean that just again it wasn't just St. Joe that liked to play it close.
Yeah.
It was just really a testament to the district. So the Bloodhounds again will be taking on Fort Bend. Do you know Laredo's matchup or
They're playing Legacy Christian.
Legacy Christian?
I believe
Legacy Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, real quick on the St. Mary's soccer, they were up at St. Mary's on Saturday, and I ran into one of their football coaches, and I said, "Hey, coach, how's 8-man football? Is what they do?" And he said, "He goes, yeah, we have 8-man, but we're going up to 11-man football next year." And then Coach Gill, of course, he had a good emotional goodbye with Coach Profe, because the St. Mary's isn't going to be in the district anymore.
Yeah.
So, but they wound up having a pretty. I mean, they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the sleeper team we talked about.
Yeah.
That we knew they were going to be the wild card.
And they're young, man. They're going to be good for the next few years. So they're going to be tough. But I mean, they're not in our district no more.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Just quickly recapping the game at Victoria. Again, we talked about the team having the opportunity, and I just thought we we just ran into a buzzsaw that day. At that point, Victoria was just playing. They were playing for a playoff spot, and I told you after the game that was a playoff game for them on their home floor.
yeah, they were a desperate team looking for a win to get into that little tiebreaker scenario. But I felt like we came out okay in the first quarter, and we had the lead, but second quarter, we just had one of those really bad quarters that you can't have on the road. Where we counted them on film the other day. We had 10 turnovers in the second quarter. I mean, you're not going to beat too many teams when you have 10 turnovers in a quarter.
Yep, 17-4 was that quarter, and then you look at the first quarter, 15-4. Third quarter, 18-12, and then you look at the fourth quarter, it was 19 to 12. So in fact we outscored them in the first and in the third.
Yeah.
But it was the second and fourth quarter, 19-12 in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, I mean, we used a lot of energy to come back from down 18 in the third quarter, drop it to 6. But it was the same thing like last year when we played them on the road. We were down 20 and a half, came back and brought it to 4, and just ran out of legs, and it kind of happened again to us.
Yeah, Bladeau had a big game.
Yeah.
He had 23. And Stakefa, 11, had 9. Ian Thomas off the bench, number 12, he had 9. Jace Vasquez, I mean, that was probably one of the better games we've seen him play.
Yeah, he played good.
Before.
He played really good.
Yeah, he had 10, and Donner and Rodriguez each had 5. So they got a collective effort offensively.
They did. And it was senior night, parents' night, all that thing, so they had a little bit extra motivation too.
Absolutely. But, I mean, that game is neither here or there. Doesn't really matter anymore as the Bloodhounds are getting set for the postseason. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to break down the postseason and the Fort Bend matchup. When we come back, this is Double Dribble with Coach Sammy Lucio.
summer, it's time for mimosas and brunch with the girls. A beachside lunch with the kiddos. Delicious Bayside burgers. And world-famous fried shrimp with a cold one. South Padre Island has your breakfast, lunch, and dinner plans covered. Book your summer getaway today. Visit SoPadre.com.
If you've been in a car crash, call Kenny. We're available to take your call 24/7, and we don't charge a fee unless we win your case. When you're in a car crash, call Kenny. Call 999-1111 now for a free consultation.
Hello, sports fans. I'm Jason Starkey with Gallery Homes.
Here at Gallery, we make building your new home simple and stress-free. From sales to selections, we handle every step so you can enjoy the journey to your new home. This is Gallery, where your dreams become reality.
This summer, it's time to go outside and get some air. Explore a pirate ship. Or go horseback riding on the beach. And you can't forget about all the fun on the bay. South Padre Island has so much to do for the whole family. Book your summer getaway today. Visit SoPadre.com.
Welcome back to Double Dribble with Coach Sammy Lucio on a Monday morning. So we got quite the week here at St. Joe. It's opening day for the baseball team, so they'll be hitting the road to Hidalgo later this evening. You can catch that game later this evening. First pitch is at 6:30 on the Bloodhound channel. We got some junior high basketball here this evening. Yeah. Tomorrow the girls will host Houston Frassati. Tip-off is at 1. Coach Sammy and the boys tip-off is at 7 in Corpus Christi. Both games will be streamed live. I won't be here for the girls, but there will be a crew here, and the girls' game will get streamed at 1, and then I'll hit the road with the boys to Corpus, and that game again will also be streamed. So I encourage you all to make the trip if you can. If not, we got your back there. Wednesday, we got our traditional luncheon with the Hounds. And then this weekend, we'll see what happens with boys and girls basketball. All that's to be determined. And then Monday next week, the boys soccer team, who are officially in the playoffs as the 3 seed, will take on Houston Frassati, another team there. But that will be a road game. So there's a lot of postseason ball going around. And, that's good, man, that I've noticed about St. Joe, and not just in the time here, but the times that I've been around, through other work, is that every team's always been competitive.
Yeah.
Every team's been competitive, and not every team can say that their boys and girls basketball teams are in the playoffs. Both were in the district race. Soccer was in the district championship race, but they're in the postseason at 7-3. Football made the playoffs. Volleyball made the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a good year so far.
Yeah, it's been a good year so far.
Baseball's looking promising.
Baseball's looking very promising.
Track's looking good.
Track is looking good. Yeah.
Tennis, we got some people winning tournaments.
Yeah. A shout out to Coach Imelda Cavazos. She's doing a tremendous job. You got to see them the other day.
They're some good players out there, and then golf's looking good.
Yeah.
So everybody's been very competitive this year.
Cross country, we brought back Sarah Pirtle, got all state accolades. again, volleyball.
She won her races this past
And
weekend.
she won her races this past weekend. So Olivia Wood in the throwing,
Yeah.
she has a lot of promise to
Reed.
repeat. Reed Starkey has another shot to go back to the state meet. So there's a lot of excitement, and like I said, right now where we're at is we got postseason basketball, boys and girls, and postseason soccer. So it's a great day to be a Bloodhound.
Yeah, always.
So the postseason matchup with Fort Bend Christian. These guys are coming in with a 19-16 overall record. They're 5-3 out of their district. Obviously, Fort Bend, a familiar opponent, talking athletically. The volleyball team knows them quite well. They're a perennial power in volleyball. Played them in football earlier this year here at home. So they're no strangers to St. Joe. And Coach, just immediately, what popped out on the film about Fort Bend?
Their speed and they got some height. But really number 4 really stood out to me. I believe his name's Ducksworth. But he's just right.
Sean Jimmy Ducksworth.
Yeah,
That's an awesome name.
Yeah, and he's an awesome player. He's about 6'5", big kid.
6'5". He's a senior.
Every game I've seen them play, he has at least 3 to 4 dunks in each game. He's just a very good player. But they have also some really quick guards, number 12 and number 14, and they can really shoot the ball well. Number 10 is another starter for them who I just think he brings a lot of energy, and he's a very good defensive player. He's one of those glue guys that every team needs. And then they have a big post. I think he's number 24. Yeah, he's another 6. He's about 6'6". He's their other post player. Those are their starters, and then they have some other guys that come off the bench that are also pretty good players that fit their role, but they like to press a lot. So we got to be ready. We got to take care of the basketball, and we got to be ready to break the press. And they're relentless on defense, so we really got to be on our A game tomorrow.
Hayden Woodbury is the post you're talking about. He's a junior.
Yeah.
6'6". And then the number 10, the one you're talking about, the guard, Dylan Cooper. He's a sophomore.
Yeah. He's a hustler. He really stood out on the film.
For a sophomore, that's
Yeah.
impressive. But you're talking about Ducksworth. He's a senior. So it's pretty in the middle.
Yeah.
Dylan Nunn, number 12 you mentioned, senior. So 14, a junior. So a little bit of a mix of some veterans and some younger pieces. But for us, what do you feel is a key? Three keys for tomorrow.
Well, number one that we've talked about all year long is just take care of the basketball. If we can do that and break their press and get some baskets off it, maybe we can get them out of their press. But if we don't take care of the ball, it's going to be a long night for us.
Yeah.
It's just the film doesn't lie. They're fast and they're quick. But if we can do that, we'll be okay. Another thing is our rebounding. They got some big kids. They got a 6'5" and a 6'6" kid. We don't have that, but we got to box out. When we box out and we secure rebounds, I think we can push it up on these guys and get some easy baskets too. And the third is just our energy. We got to come out with a lot of energy. And just be for 4 quarters, for 32 minutes, just have high energy from the bench to the coaches to the players on the court, and just keep fighting and fighting. And I believe we can give ourselves a chance at the end of the day if we just do those 3 things and believe. I mean, if we believe, I mean, anything can happen in a basketball game, big. But I have confidence in our boys that we're going to come out tomorrow and we're really going to compete hard tomorrow. We've played in this gym before, so that gives us a little bit of an advantage that we played there last year. And I have a good feeling about tomorrow if we could just come out and just play to the best of our ability. Our guys are tough, they're resilient. We've talked about that all year. And we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Absolutely, and you know there's some spots here. You look at the schedule. You know, obviously they lost to Second Baptist twice, but who hasn't? You know, but they've dropped a game to Lutheran South, another team that we kind of had on the radar. But I think for these guys, it's just you got to start fast.
Yeah, you got to start fast.
You got to start fast, and you got to avoid that single-digit quarter. And I think if they can avoid that, I think we'll be okay. Also, not just that, but you know, we've used the word resilient all year long, along with the hot start. Is these guys just gotta just play with confidence.
Yeah,
just play with confidence. And the good thing about youth, is what I've told Coach Nakara, is that the thing that I've learned when you have kids that are very youthful, they don't know any better.
Yeah.
So in a way, this is a playoff debut for what, 90% of the team, because everyone is so young. You don't know any better, and you can just play free and loose.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just Jason, Gavin, Izzy, Andre that have playoff experience. Knox, Marco, all those young guys, Chris, Santi, Luis, they haven't played in the playoffs before, so there might be a little bit of nerves there, but like you said, they might not know any better and just go out there and play freely. And if we do that tomorrow, we'll be fine. The pressure, I mean, it's just a basketball game. At the end of the day, it's a basketball game, and they gotta have some fun too tomorrow, and just go out there and, I mean, hey, we're in the playoffs. We didn't get to play in this spot last year, so let's have some fun with it also.
Absolutely. How was the week of practice? Just leading up to tomorrow?
It's been good. It's been good. A lot of energy. We had a good talk with all the boys about what we needed to do in practice this weekend, and that's one thing they all said. We need to have more energy in practice, and we got to be more competitive in practice. Usually, people in the playoffs want to say, "Well, let's drop back and let's just go through some walkthroughs and go over stuff." But these guys wanted the opposite. They wanted to go harder. So we had a good scrimmage against each other on Saturday where they really went at it, and it's been an intense couple of days of practice, so I feel they're ready.
Yeah, considering that there was no game over the weekend.
Yeah,
so
we try to
keep routine.
Keep a routine, yeah.
For sure, absolutely. So again, the Bloodhounds will be on the roads tomorrow at Incarnate Word, Corpus Christi. Tip-off is at 7, and again, we will stream that game for you live. But if you can make the trip, I encourage you to make the trip, and let's get all the support we can.
Yeah.
And
if anybody's in the Corpus area or
any alumni
wants to make a 2-hour drive,
absolutely,
we can use all the support.
Absolutely, and we're excited. Tomorrow's a big day. You know, again, the girls are here at home. I'm hoping we'll see what they do with on how, if they'll let kids out or what, and we'll see. They've done it in the past. And I was telling Victor that, you know, he hadn't seen it like that, and I said it's actually pretty cool to see. I was telling Coach Rojas. Coach Rojas was real excited about the playoff game here at home, and I said, Coach, when you see the dome and then the whole school is in there, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
It can get pretty loud. So we're hoping for a long, fruitful playoff run with all of our teams, soccer, both boys and girls basketball. So Fort Bend Christian, that is the team the Bloodhounds have been dealt. Just looking back, Coach, as we wrap up, just on the regular season as a whole, maybe what's one moment or two that just kind of sticks out that's a good memory?
I really enjoyed the win we had here with the buzzer beater that Gavin had. That was a great win. Beating Laredo here at home was awesome because we had a big crowd like you just talked about. And beating St. Mary's that last game where we kind of like, okay, we're in the playoffs. Like that was some great wins that we had this year. But I mean, you look back and, man, we've played some really tough teams this year. You look back and see that Harlington's going to win the district championship. Los Fresnos is fighting for their Anna. We got to beat Vets. I mean, those are all playoffs teams in 32 6A. We played San Benito, Mission. All these teams that we've played are playoff teams. So it's been a pace. I mean, it's all been a great year. But the two wins here in the Dome and in that buzzer beater really stand out for me. Yeah,
that buzzer beater was fun because, I mean, my goodness, the way we slept walked for 3 quarters, and Knox, he had such a big month of December. Yeah, and I think that's where we saw him turn the corner as a player, and he had that big game, and then the buzzer beater with Gavin, and I mean, even for me, even the losses were fun. I mean, at Laredo, I mean those games. That's what
sometimes you remember, like me as a coach. Sometimes I remember the losses when I talk to old players, and they're like, "Coach, you remember when we beat?" Yeah, but sometimes I forget them. But I think, like, man, we lost that 1-point loss in Laredo 3 years ago and stuff like that. But that game, I mean, we could have easily won that game. We missed like 12 layups that day. So,
and to think that the season started at Jubilee in early November,
felt like forever ago.
Yeah, that's 2 months. That's almost 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
We're halfway through February, and that game was like on what? It was before Thanksgiving.
It was before Thanksgiving. So like on November 12th or something like that.
So about 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months ago, and that's what a lot of people forget, is that it's a marathon.
Yeah,
it's not a sprint.
Basketball's a grind.
It's a grind, absolutely, and your body gets beat up.
And it's through the holidays when.
both of them,
both
both
the-
major holidays.
Yeah, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and people want to go on vacations, and well, we have practice
yeah, absolutely.
and
So
games.
absolutely. So it's a good day. St. Joe back in the postseason, rightfully so, with a 6-3 district record, and they will again take on Fort Bend tomorrow. The girls will be here taking on Houston Frassati. That game is at 1 o'clock. The boys is at 7. And let's shout out the junior high boys. They played here on Saturday.
Yeah, they did good. They beat all 4 teams. Won our 7th B, 7th A, 8th B, and 8th A. We all beat still. So good games today. They play Garcia. Our 8th graders will play here at 5:15 and 6:15. Our 7th grade will travel to Garcia Middle School today.
Cool. How many more games do they have left?
This one and one more.
This one and one more.
Yeah.
Cool.
And shout out to the JV players too this
Yes.
year for a good hard fought season, man. They really busted their behind all year long and waking up early for practices and traveling and stuff like that. So shout out to the JV boys, and they continue their career here at St. Joe.
Absolutely. So that'll wrap up our episode of Double Dribble with Coach Sammy Lucio. On the pitch with Edward Rojas has been moved to 12:30. Coach had some work obligations he had this morning, but he will be back later this afternoon. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully we have some more good news for you a week from today on our next episode of Double Dribble with Coach Sammy Lucio. We will see you guys next week.
Permatemp Personnel Services has been servicing local businesses for the past 29 years.
Leave the hiring to us. Let us become your personal hiring guru.
We have a network of